problem, and pretty much by definition, those with the larger economies are the higher emitters, and it's that who you're seeing at the Excel Centre. It is their responsibility.
And the Americans tried a major emitter process, and we said we thought there was a better way to do it, which was through the United Nations. I still hold to the multilateralist approach to the United Nations.
I just want to ask briefly, you guys, there is a lot of anger out there. There are a lot of things that people are concerned about. Do you get any sense that governments are changing the way that they think?
I think that governments are changing the way they present the vision of how they will train themselves as thinking. So their PR is certainly changing. But I'm not sure that we hear anything of any substance of how they're really changing.
No, and basically people are so frightened, governments are so frightened at the moment about what they are going to have to do to just solve today's problem for their own people, that there just doesn't seem to be enough time for governments even to be thinking, how will this system really work well for the good of us all across the world for the future?
There's nothing questioning consumer capitalism. There's certainly nothing that says that whether economic growth should be the point of society.
But at a human level, don't you have a
insane.
degree of sympathy for organisations confronted with something with one hell of a big problem, seeking to settle it by mechanisms that they understand and have seen have worked, albeit with undesirable consequences as far as many of you guys are concerned?
No, I'm sorry, I've got no sympathy for people who've got themselves into it. You know, if somebody's like, if I go to somebody and say, oh, it's real, I'm really sorry, but you're a fireman and you were pointing the hose the wrong way and the building burned down and everybody died, I've got very little sympathy for him.
But what we need is this group of G20 leaders and in fact the rest of the world's governments to really face up to these problems as new global problems together, and that includes the climate change. There's got to be a whole way of going about these problems that are much bigger and altogether.
There's an old Einstein quote which is, don't try and solve a problem using the thinking that created it, and that's what's happening still.
All right, thank you all very much indeed. Thanks. Well, whatever does or doesn't emerge from the G20 talks tomorrow, there has already